morning, Tomlin Middle School 3D art students. Hope you guys had a great week so far, and I really hope that you enjoyed my video history lessons that I put up on Tuesday. If you haven't had the opportunity to check those out, please check out the links in Tuesday's journal entries, and they will send you right on to YouTube, where you can check out all the different lessons that I've provided for each of the classes and all the history that is oriented around your particular projects you have coming up. So today, I'm going to be taking my daily walk around my neighborhood. I like to just stretch my legs and kind of get my body moving a little bit. Sometimes stuck inside the house for a little too long gets me a little cooped up. So I wanted to bring you along on my walk so that I can show you what kind of materials that I might be finding in my environment that would aid me in the process of making my natural sculpture. Now, obviously, a lot of the things I'm going to find around here are the same that you're going to find around there. Natural elements are pretty much everywhere, and we have, you know, sticks and leaves and branches and stuff like that. But each environment may have their very own type of materials to work with. Similar to a couple of the artists that I showed you, like Marcel Duchamp, who brought in the urinal. Well, I don't think I'm going to find a urinal anywhere around here, but maybe even like Andy Goldsworthy, who he worked with a lot of different natural elements, or even Pablo Picasso, who used the bicycle seat and the steering bars, the handlebars. So those are just some examples. We will be sticking with pretty much just natural stuff. So let me just bring you along with me on my walk, and we can take a look at what things I may use in my project as I work on it with you guys. So let's go on a walk. Now today I'm just kind of looking for different types of material to use in my project. I'm not going to really collect anything, and that's kind of the same thing I want you to do this weekend, is just kind of get out of the house, look around for materials, and see what it is that's abundant and near you. So one of the things I had already mentioned was the amount of leaves that I have in my yard. I mean, seriously, who lives here? It's crazy because I just raked them up maybe 2 weeks ago, and I already have, look at all these leaves. Look at all of them. I mean, I need to do something about this. But what I really want to point out is not only the abundance of leaves, but the different shapes and colors of leaves. So I have obviously all these brown leaves behind me here on the ground that have come down from my giant tree here, but also on the tree I have all these beautiful deep green leaves that also can be used. Now the contrast between the two colors would be really spectacular. How I'm going to use them, I'm not sure, but it is a piece of material that I could possibly use for the project. So keep posting, let me see what other materials I got. Now I haven't even left the yard yet, and still I'm seeing beautiful colors that I can work with. Now this is called a butterfly plant, and they have these beautiful little dainty flowers on there. And again, the contrast between the red and the green would work really well for some sort of a montage or collage of different colors and shapes. So I haven't even left the yard yet, and I already have another thing that I can work with. I have plenty of other small plants around here that I could definitely use. I got tomato plants, I got basil over there somewhere, I got some romaine lettuce coming up, I got kale, I got I think I already said tomatoes. So I got plenty of things right here in my front yard that I can use for this project. But I'm gonna go stretch my legs and take a little bit further of a walk. Now I've only gotten about a half a block away, and already I find something really interesting. You got this big old palm here. It's kind of small and stout. But what I really want to point out is the interesting leaves that these have. They're very like rubbery in texture. They come off in little tiny pieces like this, or you can have like the full palm frond as well. That's another really interesting kind of like product I could probably use. Let me keep going. Now, I also want to point out, as you're enjoying your little walk around the neighborhood, it is definitely important to practice social distancing. You know, obviously, if your family members come with you, that's great, that's awesome. But don't be going around and, you know, high-fiving and touching other people and stuff like that. We definitely want to continue to practice social distancing on our walk. So, well, let's keep going. See? Social distancing. I also want to point out that you shouldn't be going into anybody else's yard and picking up debris or whatever. You never know, it's other people's properties. Don't do that. Don't go into people's yards and pick up stuff just because you need it for an art project. So just kind of stay around your area and keep looking for stuff, all right? Just found this thing, not quite sure what it is. Kind of looks like some sort of a flower or something. Obviously wilted and died away, but it's an object, it's natural. Has a deep brown kind of color to it. I don't know, maybe I can pick all these little tiny pods off or something and do something with it. Just an idea. We're just exploring colors, textures, shapes, and all kinds of different stuff as well. So I'm just gonna keep walking along and show you what I got. I also want to point out that you should probably be kind of observant of your area that you're walking through, not only for your safety, but also to see how nature acts on its own. Nature creates its own beautiful designs and patterns and all kinds of stuff all by itself. I'm just walking around and I see this giant tree behind me covered in all these vines and how they weave in and out of each other and how they work all on their own. And they go all the way to the top. Now, as I'm walking around the neighborhood here and in the little area behind my house here, I'm actually looking for all kinds of different elements of artistry. I'm looking for shape, line, form, color, different principles of art. Not only am I looking for the abundant stuff because, well, that's what's easy to find, but I'm also taking into consideration the texture of items and the size and scale, the density of them, the weight of them, as I look at these items and kind of determine how could I use this in an interesting way. So behind me here, I have this like what used to be a riverbed or maybe some sort of a creek that overflows from time to time. And I'm sure down inside there, there's all kinds of really cool stones that are soft and smooth, as opposed to maybe some of the rocks I would find like right over here by this tree that are a little bit more rigid and pointy and sharp. So as I'm looking around, I'm taking into consideration all these different principles and elements of art. so that I can conform some sort of an idea out of it in the end. So I'm gonna keep walking back towards home now. Well, I'm back home and in my swing. So that was my little walk. It only took about half an hour to walk around my neighborhood. Please, like I said before, practice social distancing, as well as just being observant of what it is that's going on around you. You know, look at the different types of natural elements that you have available to you, not only in abundance, but also in color, and texture, weight, shape, size, form, many of the different elements that I have posted in the classroom wall. And you can find them online if you just Google the phrase artistic elements of design. So that's my little walk throughout the neighborhood. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking for you guys to do the same thing over the weekend. Just a quick little walk and see what kind of things you have available. I'm gonna have you guys post maybe some pictures of a couple items that you found interesting in your area that you could probably use for your projects. So thanks for walking along with me, guys, and I'll see you again